Hey guys, and welcome to the Challxin Relaxin podcast with your host, Deanna Robert. That's me. Get ready to dive into the nitty-gritty of the real estate market, especially in South Florida, because hey, I live here and I'm your local realtor, armed with all the insider knowledge. We'll bust myths, reveal truths, and navigate the wild world of Florida living, complete with the infamous Florida man shenanigans. Oh, and expect a healthy dose of opinion and maybe a bit of bullshitting too. Apologies in advance. So let's sit back, relax, and dive into some chit-chat. Like I told you before, I got you guys. That's why I started this podcast, for you. So Matt is back with me today, and he's here to help me navigate some thoughts from our side, your side. So let's all say hi to Matt.
Hello, everybody.
All right.
Hello.
All right, let's get this party started. So we're going to jump straight into the real estate market, as always. As of today, the median sales price nationally is around about $420,000. While in the fourth quarter of last year, 2023, Matt, they were only at $423,000. So we're dropping down a little bit.
$3,000 in a year. It's amazing.
It's a quarter, not a quarter. It's a quarter.
Oh, in a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a quarter.
Here in South Florida, we're sitting about $510,000 for our median sales price. And they're only sitting on the market for about 3 months. So, and they're saying that sellers are getting 95% of their asking price. So it's a seller's market still.
Well, I heard this crazy stat that I thought was relevant, perhaps maybe when the administration changes, because I guess ever since Biden's been in office, mortgage rates are up 160%.
Okay, yeah, and since you said that, I actually did some research, and I did say that Senator Tim Scott, who is top Republican on the Senate Banking Committee, he stated that since Biden's taken office, mortgage rates have ballooned by 150%. That's what I read. That's what I found out. That's what it said.
In the Senate. Correct.
Oh, okay. So it's interesting to know. All right, let's continue. We're still selling at a seller's market. And, you know, our luxury home prices, they're still the same. They're on an uptick. They're in high demand. And they're still sitting at about $1.3 million. And they're a seller's market, too. So not as much change with the luxury homes. So, y'all, let's jump into some interest rates. Let's see. The loans. Some of the interest rate loans have came down ever so slightly.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, little by little. The 30-year conforming rate is about 6.92%. And then the 15-year is about 6.23%. That's pretty decent. I think in the last, the 30-year FHA loan is about 6.73%. So speaking of the mortgage loans, they have been retreating for the second straight week, which is good. You guys, hair by hair, Matt, we're going to get there. Shoot, after 5 weeks of increases, we need some kind of relief. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A year ago, rates averaged about 6.39%, dude. You know, Matt, the Federal Reserves, they're still saying that they don't plan to cut interest rates until they have greater confidence that the price increases are slowly getting to their substantially 2% target, you know? But then they also say that rate cuts, you know, to the mid 6% range do remain possible, but by the end of this year.
Well, I think they want people to stop spending to even it out.
Okay, but I have this question, Matt. This is the thing. So about 2 weeks ago, the Fed's chairperson, Jerome Powell, he said that it will be slow to decrease rates, and this is our new normal, right? That's what he said. And our economy is strong, so why would they cut them so fast? Now they're saying by the end of the year, they might bring them down to 6.4%. So, because then we'll be closer to our target of 2%. So if our new normal is a little bit higher, why don't they raise that little 2% target they're trying to get to? You know what I mean? Like what? I don't,
Yeah, I don't know.
that part I don't understand. Help me guys out there. Somebody give me some info on that. All right, guys. I'm going to do some research on that. All right, you guys. I'm saying it again. Bottom line for you home buyers. waiting on the sidelines. If you see a home you love, don't wait. All right, let's get on to the next. I just want to throw that in there. Wait, Redfin said, Matt, that 1/3, which is 33% of the homes for sale are newly built. So that's good. It's slightly down from 2 years ago, but about the same from last year. So newly built homes have taken up a lot of our housing inventory since the pandemic home buying boom that we had, you know?
Does that include buying old homes and just tearing them down, or just new homes on property?
New home,
property?
not fix and flips, just new homes.
No, I mean like where they renovate the whole
No.
home, like tear it down. Just
No, new home builds is brand new homes from the concrete up.
There's that house on a property. They demolish the house, get rid of it all the way, and then put a new foundation and build a whole new house.
Well, yeah, if it's a whole brand new home from foundation up, that's a new home.
Yes,
That's a build.
but I don't know if that means where they tear down, woods and then build new neighborhoods, if that's all considered the same thing.
Yeah, it is. It's new, whatever's a new home, brand new home. Basically, these developments and stuff they're talking about, where they put all the brand new homes in there. You know what I'm saying? So since the pandemic, the builders went into overdrive because so many people were, moving, and it just boomed, and builders had new homes to build. And then as of right now, since it's a new current market for us than it was in 2020, or 2022, the builders, they have a better understanding of how our market works currently. So they price fairly. While sellers, they're overpricing their homes, Matt, way back to when we peaked back in 22, because they haven't came to terms with prices that they've came down. And also builders, they offer buy downs, and they're providing their concessions to attract buyers, All right. Also, if you're liking the podcast, you guys, so far, hit the like button, subscribe and share, tell a friend.
So what are considered seller concessions?
Seller concessions are agreements where the seller pays for a certain cost on behalf of the buyer. In Florida, these can include closing costs, appraisal fees, and whatever more they want to put in there. But like for FHA loans, sellers can contribute up to 6% of the home sale price towards these expenses. So it kind of helps them out to move in and helps them buy the home. That's where the concessions come in, and that's where these buy downs come in and stuff. In Florida, these can include closing costs, appraisal fees, and more. For FHA loans, sellers can contribute up to 6% of this home sales price toward these expenses. Also, contractors and homeowners are also waiting out high interest rates. So basically, they're pushing back on the construction timelines to build, But overall, the work put on hold increased 10% over the past month, according to Construct Connect's Project Stress Index. They have to tally everything in the world. Somebody has to tally something, some kind of Construction Connect project that pays attention to all that. You know what I mean? Well, Matt, here's no surprise. Florida leads in the housing boom to ease the shortage here.
That doesn't surprise me.
We're one of 6 states that significantly added to the nation's housing supply, and 1 out of 5 states that saw a 6% growth in housing units.
Which states are the other ones?
First place is Texas. Second place is Florida, California, North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee.
Everyone's moving to the south.
That's right, baby, because we got that southern hospitality down here. I'm just kidding. None of these states are no surprise to me, though, for real. But Tennessee, I was expecting like New York or...
Tennessee is beautiful.
Yeah, I know. It is beautiful. It's just surprised me. I was thinking of a big city. I don't know why. All right. Anyways, now investor home purchases have hit a 2-year high point. Redfin is saying that investors who account for 19% of homes sold in the first quarter of this year have come off the sidelines faster than individual buyers, Matt. What do you think about that?
That's amazing.
I know, that's great. It's starting to go. They see that rates aren't going to go so fast. I mean, like I said, they're going to come down a little bit, though. That's what they said, not me. Home prices are going to rise 8 of the next 10 years. So they will double and triple their equity of the investment these investors are going to get in the next few years. You see that's why they're coming off the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right there. Anyways, NAR held a legislative meeting this year, and the chief economist, Lawrence Yun, said, I can't say his name right, said home sales will rise in 8 of the next 10 years. So we're going to build equity in our homes if we buy now for the next 8 of the 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty good, man. Y'all go hit up some houses. They say that new construction mortgage lending rebounds have been pretty good for FHA loans in April. So that's pretty damn good, y'all. People are coming off the sidelines. FHA, first time home buying loans. People are coming to buy. I can help you out with that. Hint, hint. All right. They asked if maybe tiny homes can help with housing shortage. What do you think? The tiny homes?
I kind of like them.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right.
I think it could help.
They say that nearly 90%, 1 out of 3 Americans that stayed in an alternative living space like tiny homes say that they enjoyed their time there, Matt. Mm-hmm.
What are the alternative living spaces?
Well, they're tiny homes. They're usually about 225 square feet, about twice the area of an apartment bedroom, and then anywhere to about 600 square feet. And that's about twice the size of a parking space. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they consider that. And they also added in like modular homes and converted vans or RVs. That's what they consider that. So 75% of Americans think they should incentivize additional dwelling units and tiny homes to address housing shortages.
I think it would make things more affordable for people as well that can't afford these median home prices at the moment.
I agree with you. Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's true. Yep. So, Matt, okay, Los Angeles, California, and Austin, Texas did an experiment with these tiny homes, and they said it's starting to alleviate their homeless population.
That's great.
Yeah, that would be great here, especially for our VAs. But, because the pandemic, they're releasing those, all those sanction things. So, whatever, that was my last podcast, y'all. Rocket Mortgage, Matt, claimed that a tiny home averages anywhere between $30,000 to $60,000, but can go as low as $8,000.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But they did say that Gen Z isn't interested in the tiny homes.
Of course not, because they want the big thing right away.
So they're saying if they do decide to build these other forms of cheaper housing, maybe they shouldn't go overboard with building them due to the unseen future of the homes. So that's just my thoughts, They should probably just build tiny home communities for people who don't mind them and where the local zoning permits, because there is some issues with tiny homes and local zoning and stuff like that. You'd have to check into it with your local city and all that. But yeah. Anyways, he also touched on rentals too, Matt. He explained that rents will come down further, which will hold down the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and make the Federal Reserve cut interest rate. So they're asking when is a good time to buy and sell, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I got you guys. I'm here for you. Dave Ramsey, who is a personal finance author. I can't say a word. Author. Yeah. Said today's economic conditions can favor home buyers. But when interest rates go down, prices go up. Remember, y'all, my last podcast, I told you that that's when the bidding wars come between buyers and sellers. And buyers and sellers really come out on top with that one. So we don't want to get into all that bidding war stuff. He also said, Matt, that the housing market is heating up right now, and high interest rates, understandably, may cause many people to shy away from buying homes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Then he went on to explain that one thing that's unlikely to change anytime soon is high home prices. So if you're ready to buy, now is the time. That's what he said.
Seize the day.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
DM.
Well, that's why investors are coming off the sidelines, because right now you're gonna gain some equity in your home. So you're gonna get what you're paying for it, plus more. All right, I told you guys I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm here for you, always, always, always.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Ugly.
So I also found out when and why would be the best time to sell. They did a ATTOM, ATTOM. It's a property data analysis, Matt. It's a company that suggests data from like earlier in the year through the summertime, like say January till now. They said that summer is not the busiest time of the year for your home buying, but it's also the best time for sellers to list their properties. You list them during the summer, they're starting to come right after. That's about the time because they sit in the market for what, about 3 months? So that's about the end of summer, and that's when people start coming back. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, sounds about right to me, You get the bestseller premiums at the summertime too, Trying to tell you guys. And the best months, Matt, that are to sell your house is February, March, May, and June.
That makes sense.
Yep. And they're saying there's one best month overall to sell.
I'd have to say it's May.
I would have to say you're correct. And what day in May do you think is the best day for seller premiums to sell your house?
I wouldn't know that answer. You got to tell me that.
May 27th is what they said.
Right here.
I know, right? Yeah, we are. So there you have it. So call me. I'll help you get your property sold, y'all. Remember, anytime you want up-to-date real estate information, feel free to sign up on my website for your monthly email market newsletter, y'all. All right. The NAR, which is National Association of Realtors, made an important announcement regarding the practice changes, Matt, that are required for NAR members under the settlement agreement. It also establishes August 17th of this year, 2024, as the effective date for these changes. So, y'all, as I stated, all this information about the NAR and the settlement in my very first podcast and what it means for us as consumers regarding some truth and myths behind all this. Ooh, I just rhymed. Okay, it's on my very first podcast episode. If you have not listened to it yet, I highly recommend it. I hope you do so, as it contains good information for you guys.
Go check it out.
Yes, we are. All right, let's continue. Like I said, if you're liking the podcast so far, hit the like button, subscribe, share, tell your friends. I'm here for y'all. Also, I wanted to touch on some things with you about here locally, Matt, that I have been running into a lot lately with my clients. All right, guess what it is?
It's probably about some sort of loans.
It is. It's the FHA loans and wanting to buy a condo here in South Florida with it. All right, so let's say you get a $250,000, $280,000 loan. You go and you find this nice little condo and you love it and you want it. Well, okay, let me get down to the nitty gritty here.
So what is an FHA loan anyway?
All right, I'll tell you.
It's for first-time home buyers. Is that what it is?
Yeah, an FHA loan is a mortgage that's insured by the Federal Housing Administration. That's not always for first-time home buyers, but mostly yes. It's a government agency that is part of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. FHA loans are intended for borrowers who have difficulty getting loans from like banks or private lenders.
Somebody like me.
Well, yeah. And are particularly popular with first-time home buyers. So, okay, so let's say you wanted the condo and the price range that you got, all right? It sounds good so far, right?
Oh,
Wrong. Nope, you can't have it, Matt. And here's why. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to start off by saying they must be Fannie Mae approved because that's FHA. With that being said, y'all, less than 1% of all Florida condominium properties are FHA approved. Okay?
They don't want people buying condos.
No, that's not true. I'm going to tell you why. There's so the federal housing, that's a government. It's fair housing, equal opportunity lenders. Okay? Condominiums, let me go on. All right, let's say, first of all, condominiums, they have to have at least 10% in reserves. And you also should find out commitments or special assessments that are coming up within that HOA or that COA. You know?
Special assessments.
Oh, special assessments are fees that are charged onto condo owners in addition to their regular monthly maintenance or association fees. So whatever you pay monthly for your COA or HOA. So let's basically say the condo got cited and they had to fix part of the elevator or the building or something, and the parking garage or something, and they didn't have enough of their reserves to pay for that. You guys live in that condo, you have to pay for that on top of your regular monthly fee. So, okay. And Fannie Mae don't agree with that. They don't feel like you should have to pay for that.
I agree.
All right. So significant expenses and development can occur, and homeowners have to cover it, one way or another, guys. So you guys are going to be stuck with this crap. So Fannie Mae says, nope. Fannie Mae's no discrimination policy, in my personal opinion, in Florida. So just be careful. Don't waste your time with an FHA loan and try to find the perfect condo. And then I don't want you to get discouraged, I don't want you to get discouraged. So you gotta please pay attention. While we're on condos, Matt, do you remember the Surfside collapse?
Oh, I do. The Champlain Towers.
Yes.
It.
Yeah. So Tallahassee said that some owners in older condo buildings are putting their units on the market after receiving 6-figure special assessments, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's the reserves we're talking about for the FHA and condo loans. Do you know what I mean? So the repairs include, but not limited to, the roof replacements, waterproofing, bring the buildings up to code. Many of these condo owners are on fixed incomes, So of course they're going to put them up for 6 figures because now they can't afford it. It's the assessments are driving them out, That's why FHA, Fannie Mae say no. All right. So Matt, the U.S. consumer sentiment drops to a 6-month low. That's good. Washington said it fell sharply in May to the lowest level it's been in 6 months. And they say that Americans sided stubbornly with high inflation and interest rates, as well as it fears the unemployment could rise.
So what really is consumer sentiment and what is it used for? Like, what does that mean?
Oh, okay. Economic indicator that the Feds use to measure how optimistic consumers feel about their finances and the state of our economy. So that's how they know how we feel about what's really going on out there and what we're doing, by what we're spending. That's how they think how we feel is our spending, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me. Consumer spending is it's a crucial driver of growth. So unemployment is at its all-time low right now, which is great. That's freaking great. Which has forced many companies to offer higher payment to find workers and keep them. They say that in the first 3 months of this year, consumer spending stayed strong even as growth slowed. So that's great.
Yeah.
It also said that Americans expect inflation will stay higher over the next year at about 3.5%. So that's what they're saying, Washington. And Washington also did an investigation that found out that thousands of veterans are in danger of losing their homes, man.
There's no surprise.
That's why we can use the tiny homes for them. I told you. Yeah. Most people experiencing homelessness in 2023 were from states with high cost of living, y'all, like California, Matt, Florida, New York. And they're saying some Midwestern states also, like Montana and Utah. But they're also saying that mental health issues are a big problem with homelessness, too.
Yeah, especially with the veterans, unfortunately.
I know. But I got good news. They have put up $16 billion, which is about $49 per person in the United States, for mental health for VAs. And this year alone, they put aside $14 million to public housing agencies for veterans experiencing homelessness. That's great. Remember in my last podcast, I told you guys that they have a new program for veterans to help towards foreclosures also? Okay, so let's talk about here locally, Matt. Let's tell you, we got some more great news for everyone. They say that Governor Ron DeSantis signed to provide an additional $100 million for HHHP. That's Hometown Heroes, the housing program. And they're revising the Live Local Act from 2023 for zero interest down payment and closing cost assisted home loans to fulfill employed Floridians who meet income requirements. So if you got a full-time job, you guys, they got some programs out there to help us. And this new funding will be available starting July 1st.
That's great.
All right. How do you feel about AI, Matt?
I feel like it's going to be the downfall of civilization.
Okay. That was a really big statement.
That's my feeling.
All right. So that to me, all right. I think it's kind of creepy personally. I mean, I'm not too sure about it yet. I don't know. But this is one of the issues it has in the housing industry, and I'll tell you. So HUD, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, released a new guidance document that using AI and tenant screening and the advertising of housing opportunities in relation to the Fair Housing Act. HUD warned that the misuse of AI and algorithms can introduce bias and discrimination into screening and advertising.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Matt, Zillow says that our rents in this country rose faster than our wages, dude.
Yeah, I've witnessed that firsthand.
Yep. And they're saying nationwide rents climbed 30%, while incomes expanded about 20% from 2019 to 2023.
That's generous.
Yep. That was from Zillow, Easy Street, and Zillow and Easy Street. Meanwhile, here in Florida, our hot spots are Tampa and Jacksonville, that they surged 3 times quicker than wages. There are rentals. And they say the rent dominates the inflation index. But Florida also only sees a slight rent increase over the rest of the U.S. So they're saying that we're not really increasing our rents too much like everybody else in the rest of the U.S. They even said the rents have elevated across Florida. Renters will still have to make sacrifices to keep roofs over their heads until their income rises.
Might be waiting a long time.
All right, y'all. I'm going to give you some insider knowledge on what to know about mortgage pre-approvals. Okay? Want to know, Matt?
I do.
They are mostly mandatory nowadays before we even show you the home, okay? There's plenty of reasons why, so it's necessary to start the home buying process. I mean, we can't even start a contract without it. We need a pre-approval. Most sellers ask for it prior to even showing the house now, you know? So it's like you got to go ahead and get a pre-approval if you want to get a home, you know? And a realtor can lead you in that direction if you don't know where to go. Hint me. All right. Also, it's going to be a waste of time just to go see something that you're not prepared to buy, and someone else who is pre-approved and prepared, they also see the same home and they get to start and lock down that home with the contract because they already have it, you know? And then once again, we don't want you guys to be discouraged, you know? So it also helps to see homes that are in your budget, you got a pre-approval, and you know what you can do for it, you know? A pre-approval can help you determine what your budget is, and it helps set buyers apart from the competition, you know, increasing your likelihood that your offer will be accepted before someone else's, or you get in first, you know?
So do your due diligence, people.
Yeah, do your due diligence. And if you don't know how to do that, get a realtor. They can lead you in the direction, but they can't do it for you. But they can lead you in the direction to get it done, and they can help you.
Well, what can I do if I'm trying to get a mortgage now?
Okay. Well, you can check out your credit score, you know, like Credit Karma or something like that. It's free. And see what needs improvement with that. Save up for a down payment. The more money down up front, the lower your payments. With 20% down, you'll avoid mortgage insurance. First-time home buyers, they can get down payment assistance from like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Hometown Heroes. Hint, hint, let's start your application, guys. Talk to your local realtor, and they'll get in contact with the local lender to see what best option is best for you with that scenario, you know? You also got to know your debt to income ratio. It compares, you know, it kind of compares your total monthly debt payments against your gross monthly income. So that's good to know too. Check out different options on mortgage loan types. Speak to different lenders. See which, you know, term is that best suits your situation. You know, the pre-approvals, they do expire in about 60 to 90 days. So within about 3 months. So make sure you're ready when you go get one. Don't go get one and you're not ready. You know, it's going to be a waste of time because then you got to do it all over again. You know? All right, y'all. I wanted to share some ways for us to gain some financial knowledge that's not often taught in school, Matt, so we can avoid poor decisions, okay? First, we need to budget, like I just said. It'll decide how you'll allocate your money. It helps to figure out how much you earn and where it's going. Debt to ratio. You get it? Our debt, it's important for us to understand the types of debt and how to manage them. Look for debts that are like revolving and non-revolving, secured or unsecured. You know what I mean? With unsecured debts, they don't have any collateral behind them. So those are even better, and know your net worth. This is one of the most important aspects of your financial picture. It's the difference between what you owe and what you own, And then your credit offers the ability to borrow the money. And then last, you got to save. You got to reach that big goal, the 20% down if you want lower payments. But the best way to reach your savings goal is to divide the total number that you need to save, like money-wise, by the number of months that you need it or would like to have it saved by, okay? And that will let you know how much to save each month to reach your goal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Budget 101.
Yeah.
So how do you get an 800 credit score? Because that seems pretty unattainable.
Got you. I'm here for you. Let's go over those factors to get you there. Okay, so to reach a 800 credit score, do all the things that I said above, right? Okay. Plus, you got to understand what it takes to get there. So what makes up that 800 credit score? Well, your payment history, that's about 35% of it. So your credit score, if your payments are on time, your payment history is 35% of that. Then your amount owed. So how much do you owe in credit cards? How much do you owe on this? What do you owe? Get that down because that amount is 30% too. So now we got 30% and 35%. We're at 65% to get to the 800 credit score, which is mostly your on-time payments and how much debt you have. Okay? Then the length of your credit history, that's only about 15%. So mostly, like I said, it's about how much debt you have out there and you owe and how much do you pay your payments on time. Those are your two biggest factors to get to that 800 credit score. So try not to owe anything out there and try to pay your freaking bills on time. Basically, all accounts that's what's all considered for this. Your credit mix is about 10%. That's a measurement of, say, credit cards, personal loans, mortgages, crap like that. And then finally, your new credit. That's about 10%. So, look, and taking on new debt, that's about 10%. So that can increase your risk factor to lenders. So no new debt prior to getting a home loan.
Don't go buy a car before you try to buy a house.
No, do not go see Matt. Come see me. That rhymed too. All right. That's about all I can say for now. It's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. It's what's important to you, So the sales tax holidays or tax breaks are approaching, y'all. Just in time for hurricane season, Matt. So make sure you stock up on supplies during this time, my fellow Floridians. Matt, you got to go stock up. Okay, but this year, they have added something new, and I'm excited about it, Matt.
What is that?
It's a 1-year exemption on residential property and flood insurance premiums. That's totally awesome. Podcast. You were talking about, remember in my last podcast, you were talking about people from other countries coming over here and buying up all of our land?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I found out some information on it. You ask and you shall receive, my friends. I got this. So Tallahassee is printing that Governor Ron DeSantis approved a measure to restrict property ownership by people from China and 6 other countries.
Let's go, Ronnie.
So, Matt, on Monday, these housing and real estate groups filed a federal lawsuit alleging it's discriminatory. It was filed in Miami, and they're also saying the law violates the Federal Fair Housing Act and part of the Florida Constitution.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay. I'm going to keep y'all updated on this as it happens when it happens. I have the insider knowledge of the truth behind the myths. Remember, y'all, that's why I started this. I got you to give you the truth. All right, Matt. With all that AI talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're telling us to be aware if you have a small business because cyber attacks are on the rise. They say it's mostly the ransomware attacks. I guess it's profitable. There are profitable attacks that will spread from here to there. Like, I guess I don't know, somehow.
It's where it's where they hold your stuff for ransom and make you pay it until it gets fixed.
Oh, okay.
Information and all that.
Hackers exported approximately 1.1 billion in 23, and cyber criminals follow the money, they say.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're pretty smart people.
That's what I hear. Also, if you're liking the podcast, you guys, so far, hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend. I promise I'll have the video soon, faster than the mortgage rates will go down. All right. They say that a breach can be very costly for a business, though, like around $26,000. You know, back in August of 2023, one of the popular MLS service providers for real estate, they were hit by a ransomware attack that left, I guess they say they left it inaccessible for weeks. They say that it impacted about 5% of real estate agents nationwide.
Yeah, it's scary stuff.
Yeah, it is. It really is. We should all have plans in place, they say, to try and prevent these attacks. You know, we should definitely be using those two-factor identificators. That way they're so more secure. Well, guess what? I picked up some tips for y'all.
So what are these tips?
All right, let's see. The best defense, they say, is invest in IT security. You know, stuff like prevention updates, security training, and security tools. Maintain an offsite data backup system. Backup data daily, they say. Use the 3-2-1 rule.
Which is what?
They say always maintain 3 copies of data stored in 2 different storages, like 2 different, storage types electronically, and then keep 1 copy offline. And then they're saying update systems, software, security tools, features, install firewares, antivirus software, stuff like that. Got to be cautious of the websites and the emails with the attachment that you opened. If you don't know it, don't open it. Spam it. You always have to develop a disaster recovery program. This is a crime. So if it does happen, you must report it to law enforcement. They have like the FBI, Secret Service, cybersecurity people that get on these issues for us, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Now let's get on to some labs here. So we got some Floridian going on down here. Okay. A young lady, Matt, in Miami, she goes into a Honda dealership to test drive a car. What do you think she did during the test drive?
I don't know.
Well, she was test driving the car. She got pulled over by the police, but she refused to stop for them.
Good for her.
No, we can't say that. She was driving down the shoulder of the highway at like 90 miles an hour, and then she crashed into some cars, jumped onto a concrete ledge, and then jumped into the lake below.
Where did that happen?
I think Monroe County down there.
Yeah.
And then the police tried to get her out, and she wouldn't come out. Like, they were kept throwing a rope at her, and she refused. So they had to jump in the water and get her out forcefully and remove her, they said.
That's a determined woman.
She sure is. She's determined not to go with them, boy. And then, on another note, in Broward County, a Florida man went to jail for carving his name into a police car, dude. What is wrong with these people?
Can't think stupid.
What is wrong with these people? Well, basically, he carved his name on the hood, and he said he did it because the police wouldn't take him back to Haiti, dude. Yeah, so he got mad at the police and carved his name on the car so they would take him to jail? Or maybe he'll get deported or something? I don't know. But anyways, real quick.
Her drugs had something to do with that one.
I don't know. I ain't got no comment. I'm going to keep moving. All right. May is the month in Palm Beach for shows, arts, ideas, and cultures. We have a month-long celebration of inspiration and discovery here. For art lovers and garden goers, sightseers and theater enthusiasts, get ready to color your calendars with 31 days of cultural fun starting May to June. Enjoy a month of shows, arts, ideas, cultures for less in the Palm Beach.
Nope.
So they're doing like the end of May, beginning June, like 20 days left.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Every city in Palm Beach County has like something going on. Depends on where you want to go and what you want to do. But it's, also it's this time of the year to hit up all of our freshwater, crystal clear springs throughout Central and North Florida.
And how can I find that?
Oh, you just Google it. Just Google the Palm Beaches, thepalmbeaches.com, and you'll find every event here. But if you want the springs, you would have to just go Google Florida Springs. And we have like 20, 30 of them out throughout here. And of course, the endless summer days on the beach with so much to do, like jet skis, kayaking, nature walks, boating, snorkeling, scuba diving. And the food right now is awesome. Everything is fresh. It just depends on what you like to do. All right, you guys, as always, I'm going to leave that right there on that note. And until next time, y'all, coming up on the next podcast of Challxin Relaxin, we'll be chit-chatting and bullshitting about, as always, our monthly updated housing market stats. What are these mortgage rates up to now? What are the pros and cons of Amendment 5? Why are insurers using aerial images? What are the home insurance mistakes to avoid? What property rights did the U.S. Supreme Court back? What are the best types of roofs for your Florida home? And a guide to buying land for a house. I'm here for you guys. I got you. Also, guys, as always, the Florida Man shenanigans with a touch of South Florida's lifestyle living. Until next week, y'all, I hope you enjoyed our bullshitting. I would love your feedback on any of our topics today. And please like, share, and subscribe so we can interact together every week. You can always listen to my Challxin Relaxin podcast on these platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, and my YouTube website, Deanna Robert Realtor. If you just want to stay current with my monthly Market Reflector email newsletter or your personal home property report and evaluation, you may visit my website at www.deannarobert.realtor, DEANNAROBARE.realtor. It was fun, y'all, and stay safe out there. Until next week, bye.
Peace.